And then I found out you also tried to get Governor Patterson to be here, who was invited, but unfortunately couldn't make it. On the positive side, you turned down former Governor Spitzer, who wasn't invited but wanted to come. At which point, Governor Blagojevich said, well, who do you have to bribe to get into this joint? And by the way, I have to tell you, I actually recently stayed at the Mayflower in the exact same room as former Governor Spitzer, only I didn't exactly have the same perks. Instead of a hot girl named Ashley, I got an old maid named Olga. And with that in mind, it's an honor to be here tonight, and I say that because I learned the only group that decides the fate of more territory than you folks in the tri-state area are, in fact, the Sopranos. And the only time anybody really did more surveying here is when Hillary took a good look at the whole state 8 years ago, surveyed it carefully, and said, I'm pretty sure it's doable. I also admire your association provides many services, including a library of exciting books like Riparian Law and New York land titles, which should help make the winter season even more boring and suicidal than it already is. You also have great products for sale, like your Nice Apples logo embroidered fleece with that special feeling of actually being fleeced by members of your own association. And I admire your scholarship fund auction, which is going to help a number of talented kids get an education. Even though it turns out most of this fund goes to help the sons and daughters of the board members, I believe it's still a very noble cause. Nevertheless, I do think you are the best, evidenced by the fact the American Surveyor magazine rated your group as one of the top 50 surveying associations of your kind in the country, which obviously isn't that impressive considering there are only 50 associations of your kind in the country. With that in mind, Ed Summerhays assured me you're going to spend so much money advertising in the Surveyor this year, you're going to buy your way right up to #1. And let me add, if telecommuting works, we're going to ask some of you folks to relocate to more fully cross-pollinate your overall abilities. Beginning in March, for example, everybody working in Yates is going to be asked to relocate to Onondaga. Everybody from Onondaga is going to be asked to go to Cayuga. Everybody from Cayuga is going to be asked to go to Herkimer, and everybody from Herkimer is simply going to be sent away. And while I'm on the subject of the Fed, I know there's a lot of concern about the $1 trillion budget deficits now in Washington. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's not fair to our kids. And I agree with that statement very much, but I have a 16-year-old son, and he's a pain in the butt. So I say, hey, let him pay later for his bad attitude now. But having said that, I'm still nervous about terrorism, and that's true. So much so I went out and bought a gas mask, but I filled mine up with nitrous oxide. If there ever is an attack, I'm getting free dental work done. Because things are really bad in other parts of the world. In Israel, things are actually so scary they use pigs to sniff out explosives. Any idea how unfair this is? These pigs are sitting around going, well, I'm in the one country in the world I thought I was perfectly safe. I wish I could turn to a cow and move to India. Now, I think there's a lot of health problems. For example, one of the biggest health problems is dealing with stress, which I personally have a problem with, and I tried a lot of things. I got into subliminal tapes. I'm relaxing. I quit drinking. Unfortunately, now I'm hooked on phonics. I had a migraine the other day. I tried my wife's Midol. It didn't help the headache at all, but somehow I feel better about her cramps. I also have nervous habits. I'm a nail biter, which is very bad, but smokers to me are in a whole different league. I mean, smokers, they run out of cigarettes, they go up to a total stranger, anywhere in the world, they get a cigarette. I've been biting my nails for a long time. I swear to God, my whole life, never once have I ever tried to bum a nail from a friend. Excuse me, you don't want those pinkies? I can't quit nail biting, though. I swear to God, it's pathetic. The other day, I was out, I bought some Lee press-ons. And then I ate them right from a box. I'm now up to like 6 packs a day. This morning I'm on the street, some guy gave me the finger. I wanted the entire hand. Music cheers me up though, but there are medical studies I've heard. Like it turns out if you go to a Black Sabbath concert, you lose 70% of your hearing for a month, which By the way, on the good side is the perfect month to go to a Michael Bolton concert. On the other hand, if you go to a Celine Dion concert, you lose like 98% of your will to live, and that's pretty much permanent. I mean, if I hear Titanic one more time, I wish it were on the darn ship. There are things in music that I just don't understand. Could somebody tell me, why is Karen Carpenter dead and Keith Richards is still out touring? I don't get it. Some people gotta help each other out. Mama Cass, Karen Carpenter, one ham sandwich could have saved 2 lives. Now, having said that, the future of your business, for good or bad, is going to be more dependent on technology, like machine-controlled guidance, which I think could be eliminated if you simply get some machine guns to scare the hell out of the people with the machine controls. I think science is getting out of hand. I read recently somebody invented a solar-powered pacemaker. I'm thinking, this is great. When the sun goes down, so do you. On the other hand, one invention I always liked, airbags in cars. I don't know if you remember, initially they only put them on the driver's side. I don't know about you, I couldn't wait to invite somebody I hated for a ride to a brick wall. Hey, Uncle Louie, come on. In fact, I remember an ad about 20 years ago, GM, true ad, they had an ad which they said, if you die in one of our cars while buckled up, we'll give your estate $10,000. I'm thinking, great, what the hell is that? Incentive? Kids, come on, we're going for a ride. Buckle up tight, Daddy's unemployed. And that brings me to the question of how do you folks increase your business? I want you to consider the fact most people don't have the slightest idea how about engaging a surveyor or whether or not a surveyor should even be engaged. Well, I say you are human beings with the same needs and desires as everybody else. If somebody you want to get engaged or even get married, you should be entitled just to live like regular people, even though I think we both know you're all a little bit weird. That's why to further increase profits, though, you must get surveys with the best sales abilities, and that's why whenever I consult with anybody involved in your business, the first thing I do is institute mandatory drug testing for all employees, and then fire everybody. Thank you so much, and I'd like to thank the board for bringing me down here. I hope you guys enjoyed me. Thank you.